Bonjour tout le monde, welcome to Weekday Wanderings in Paris. My name is Jackie. Today we are not actually in Paris as such, we are just on the outside at a place called La Défense. So La Défense is just to the west of Paris, and it is the commercial complex of Paris, which is right in the middle of four communes, or four towns, and they're the towns of Puteaux, Courbevoie, I know I get it off the top of my head, Nanterre, and La Garenne-Colombes. Okay, so the view that I'm showing you at the moment is the Cimetière de Neuilly. It's actually in Nanterre, but it's administered by Neuilly, and we're actually looking towards Nanterre here. And if we're looking at this direction here, it's Puteaux. So we're kind of in the middle here, and we're in the middle of a very, very large structure, which you may or may not be familiar with. It's kind of impressive, and you may recognize it from a slightly different perspective. Susan McGregor, bonjour, welcome. Bonjour, Margaret Redrup, welcome. Now, I first of all need to tell you, Judy can't be with us today, so she sends her regards to everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Okay, so we are in the middle of the La Grande Arche de la Défense. Good morning, Nina. Bonjour, welcome. Okay, so I'm going to flip my camera around and give you a better perspective of where we are. So we're in the back end of the Grande Arche de la Défense. In La Défense, it's obviously a very modern part of Paris. This structure itself was completed for the 200th anniversary of the French Revolution. So in July 1989. Let me show you these wonderful little structures here. This is a series of glass elevators. So there's four of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. Glass elevators. I have been up once. Yes, Nina, it is La Défense. I have been up these glass elevators once. It was one of the most terrifying experiences of my life. I don't plan on doing it again. I was considering doing it for your benefit, for our viewers' benefit, but I thought to pay €15 for the privilege of scaring myself witless wasn't worth it. Apart from the view, of course, the view is pretty magnificent, and they often have exhibitions on. There's actually on the roof there, well, not on the roof, but in the building up on the top is an exhibition space. I went to an exhibition there about 12 years ago, which was nice. The view was incredible. Yeah, so the money shot is this way. Bonjour tout le monde. Jackie, I'm here. I didn't expect to make it. Judy, thanks. Glad to see you're here. So here you go, everybody. We are at the top end of the Axe Historique Parisien. So I've talked about this a lot before. So it starts at the Louvre, and it wendles its way via the Arc de Triomphe du Carrousel, which is at the entrance of the Tuileries, and works its way all the way down to Concorde, where you have the obelisk, and then all the way down the Champs-Élysées to the Arc de Triomphe, which of course is what we can see right there. Okay, so from the Louvre to the Arc de Triomphe is 6 kilometers, and then there's another 4 kilometers from the Arc de Triomphe to here, and that is the Axe Historique Parisien. And of course we're at the top end. So La Défense, like I said, is outside of Paris. It they started to build it in the late 1950s, 1958, and the idea was to create a commercial complex outside of the city. Bonjour Sally Davies, welcome. So as you know, people who've been to Paris, it's very traditional. They've tried not to change a lot in modern times, and whenever something modern does happen, people tend to be rather upset about it. So the idea of the Art Défense is to create this business district outside the city where it was going to be very modern, but allow for a separation between modern Paris and traditional Paris. Okay, so we're on the esplanade of the Pavis de la Défense, and obviously lots of high-rise buildings, mostly office blocks. It's the financial district. There are lots of finance schools here, and Nanterre behind us has a big university. There are other universities as well. The other thing that we have here in the esplanade, the Pavis de la Défense, is a lot of art pieces. Here's one over here which I should have shown you when I was at the top of the steps. It's a big thumb, and it's called the Thumb. It was rather impressive. Let's try and get a closer look here. We have lots of people on board. Can you go to the top of the Grande Arche? Do you mean are people able to, or am I personally able to? Yes, you can go. So like I said, this structure here is the elevator system which we just walked past, and the lifts, it costs €15 for adults to go to the top, and it's all automated. So yes, you can go to the top. Like I said, it's if you have vertigo like I do, then it's really probably one of the worst ideas in the world. Okay, so here we have the thumb, great big thumb statue. Okay. Alright, we also have here lots of, like I said, lots of high rises. There's the biggest shopping centre in Europe, or at least it was when it was built, and this is called it's Westfield. Westfield seems to own everything these days. Les Quatre Temps, it's called. So that takes up all of this here. Okay, but you've got lots and lots of other commercial complexes here as well. We should zoom out. There we go. That's better. Okay. So the Grande Arche is 110 meters tall. It's actually a hypercube, a tesseract. So it's cuboidal in dimension, not exactly, but almost. And if you can imagine, the Arc de Triomphe, the one at the Étoile Charles de Gaulle, can actually fit inside that space there. 110 meters tall, huge. Okay. But it's not the largest building here at La Défense. They're obviously doing lots of construction all the time. We've got some construction going on everywhere. But currently the largest building is Le Tour First, it's called. We're going to head down towards that now, and that's 234 meters tall. And to put that into perspective, the Eiffel Tower is 324. I think I've got some of those numbers mixed up, but yeah. So it's about 100 meters shorter than the Eiffel Tower. Okay. So to get here, of course, the main way of getting here is Line 1 Metro. And the extension from Charles de Gaulle Étoile to La Défense took place in 1992, so it's relatively recent. And here's one of the entrances to the metro. There's also the RER A, the RER line, or the RER as we call it in France, with a French accent. So you have lots of RER lines. They're the commuter trains, and the RER A runs from Châtelet, which is the centre of Paris, and it goes west to east, east to west. So this is one of the western points, although it does extend past this. And then of course it goes east as well, and the terminus on that end is Disneyland. So if you've been to Disneyland, then you possibly would have gone on the RER A. Alright, so we're still walking past 28jan here, shopping centre, and another big centre here. This one's been here for a bit longer than les 28jan. Now, because I'm always talking about toilets, it's very difficult to find public toilets here, which you don't have to pay for. They have lots of Starbucks here, none of them seem to have toilets. There are no public toilets here. There's ones you have to pay for. Yay. Okay, so I don't come here very often. It's I mean, it's relatively easy to get to because of the metro line, but it's far from where I live, and it's not really a place that I like to come because of course I like the historic aspects of Paris, but it is really interesting and there's a lot of comments. So if you need to go shopping, then obviously this gives you a lot of space. And I can also remember coming here with my little girl, Juliette, my youngest, and this is where I brought her to help her walk in shoes, because you know, sometimes if you want to go to parks in Paris, they were shut off during winter, especially the grassed areas. So I used to bring her here where she could just literally run around, big empty space. So there you go, there's the Arc de Triomphe, the Arc de la Défense. So of course the Arc de la Défense was built to commemorate the 200 years. Well, it was planned before that. It's actually planned in 1982, and they wanted to make it reminiscent, of course, of the other arcs. So a modern interpretation of the arcs. It's another entrance to the transport hub. So there's also the train L and train U and the tram number 2. Okay, so they go, L goes from Saint-Lazare to the southwest of Paris, and this the northwest of Paris, and U sort of goes around the southwest as well. And same with the tramway. Okay. So I probably should have started my walk in the other direction, because it is quite scenic, but then you've got all of this kind of messy part in between. Okay, let's see if we can hustle a bit. Okay, so if you like modern architecture, it's probably really interesting to go here. There are some quite stunning looking buildings. There's another piece of art here. Who likes modern art? So Mona, she left a message on the event saying that she wouldn't be able to make it to this event live because where she lives it's 4:30 in the morning, so I totally understand that. But she will be joining us later, so hello Mona for when you do join us. So Mona asked a question about, you know, how do the French feel about that, about this modernisation here. We've got some more modern art here. We've got this red structure over here as well. And just briefly I asked my husband what he thought, and like I sort of said in my intro, that this is kind of a way of allowing modernisation to take place while keeping it separate from traditional Paris. So I think this is a good compromise, don't you think? And of course, by joining it with the Axe Historique, that allowed it to be connected to Paris while still being distinct. So a lot of things are going up here. There are a lot of planned works. If you look on Wikipedia, I will post the Wikipedia link, but I'm sure you could find it yourself. There are a lot of planned works for the next 20 years. A lot of these high-rise buildings, it's just going to get bigger and bigger. So we're going down the Esplanade de la Défense. Nina says, yes, you know it's possible, but in this moment, it's open at the moment. Yes, it is. Now we're heading down towards some more interesting artworks. Now my question was, why is it called La Défense? And the answer is, there's this statue here, and it was built in made in 1883 as a monument to, it's called the La Défense de Paris. It was created in recognition of all of those who defended Paris during the siege during the Franco-Prussian War, and it's quite a nice little statue. And that was the reason that they named this area La Défense. And here it is here. Lots of steps here. So this is the statue, La Défense de Paris. That's 1883. Okay, and here we can see down towards the Arc de Triomphe, and behind us, yeah. So this fountain here usually doesn't have the horrible works behind it, and the fountains when they go at night time look beautiful, but not at the moment. So we have a lot of very modern cafes and everything here, which are quite nice. There's a lot of residential area around here too. Another Starbucks. I think I just passed about 2 down the road there. Look, we have blossoms on the trees. So we are in winter, but spring is in the air. Judy says, no wonder that line 1 is so crowded. Line 1, of course, is the main one. A lot of the people on line 1 are either going to, well, they're all the main places along line 1, but yes, La Défense is definitely responsible for a lot of that. Let's see. Charles de Gaulle Étoile, of course, is another major hub. Châtelet is another major hub, and the Porte de Vincennes. So yeah, apart from the Tour Montparnasse, which is a real aberration, there is a building limit on the height of buildings in Paris. So here outside of Paris, obviously they can do whatever they like. So all of this building was part of President Mitterrand's plans, his Grand Monument. Here we do have a vestige of old Paris though. This is a Wallace fountain, but as you might see, it's not working. So the Wallace fountains, it's is not functioning. Okay. Judy says, bonjour tout le monde. Where are you located at the moment? Please pop in and say hi. Merci. Still relatively early. I imagine a lot of these places will be starting to get busy in about half an hour time, ready for the lunch rush. It's still quite cold here, so people are not going out as much. You can see there we've got another little art piece there. So as you could imagine, and the one here of course, so you've got a lot of these art pieces that are scattered everywhere throughout. Now there is an app with a QR code, but for some reason my phone is always having trouble, but is currently not reading QR codes, which is very difficult. Look at that. So I'm not able to access the map that shows where all of the art pieces are, but we're making a little detour here just to show you another art piece that I spied. But they're all around this area, so I guess it's just a case of wandering around and running into them, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. And I guess the more you wander, the more you discover. There we go. So if you like modern art, this is definitely a place to come. And of course it's available 24/7. So you don't have to stand in queues or buy tickets, or even if we were to go into lockdown, you would still be able to enjoy this. So that's pretty cool. So now we're actually heading towards the tallest building that's here. I know you can see it at the next metro station, but I'm not very sure if you can see it from where we are now because they're so densely packed. So hello to anyone who's just joined us. We are walking from La Défense. We're going through all of these little nooks and crannies to discover some of the artwork that's hidden around. And we're heading towards, so we're going along the Esplanade de la Défense. So heading west towards the city, the centre of the city. More stairs. Feels like I'm walking forever. Okay, this part I thought was absolutely gorgeous. Like a little haven here. Nina is from Gospić, Croatia. Welcome from Croatia. Thank you for joining us. What's it like in Croatia at the moment, weather-wise? Cold? So weather-wise here, we're not so cold today. Look at these planters, aren't they amazing? So this whole area here, so it's called La Danse. So this is again an art project. Isn't it beautiful? It's so, apart from the noise around us of course, it's quite tranquil. Wow, those planters are awesome. I know, Sally, aren't they? There was a piece of art here, which I saw just earlier. Didn't get a chance to have a closer look at it. Dog poo bag dispensers, which is empty, so I'm sure nobody's picking up after their dog. Okay, 28jan22, dans les traces de nos pères. Okay, light's not ideal here, but large feet. Yeah. And let's keep on. This is a very long walk. Let me check my time. Yes, I figured we would be running out of time, so I'm trying my best to get down to the end here as soon as I can. Don't think I'm going to manage it. So I'm heading down towards the next metro station on line 1, which is called Esplanade de la Défense. So essentially we're one metro station along, not quite there yet. Another Starbucks over here. Look at this building. Oh. Okay, we navigate the stairs. So anyway, great place to come if you want to have a nice walk at this time of day. It's quite tranquil apart from the construction going on. But apart from that, it's really lovely, and it's very user friendly. It's very clean. Even here at the rubbish bins, they make it fun. This one here is like a basketball shooting hoop, and other ones they have hopscotch on them. Look, you can come and sun yourself here. Okay, so let's quickly down here. Just want to get to the very end if I can get there very fast. Okay, so the largest tallest building, the current tallest building, is just over here. It's the one with the angular roof, and it's called the Tour First. So it's this one that we can see on an angle hiding behind that one there. And it's an office block. Most of these are office blocks, some of them aren't. Okay, look at this. We've got the Toifel here. We've got the Tour Montparnasse here. We have a hopscotch for the rubbish bin here. And the last thing I want to show you is this park bench. Don't know how it is with perspective, but it's really big. Okay, we made it to the metro station. Okay, so this tall building here with the angular roof, that's the tallest one. So that's one there, and of course this park bench is enormous. It's not to scale. My hand doesn't really give you much of a perspective. Okay, and this beautiful fountain here. So I'm going to finish there because we've gone way over time. So thank you so much for having me. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that walk to La Défense. I'm sorry I'm a chicken and didn't go up to the roof of La Défense. Turn my camera around and say bye-bye. There we go, got La Défense in the background. So thank you for joining me. I hope you're all doing well. Stay safe and healthy and happy. And we will see you all again next Friday. Take care, everyone.